Today I'm removing every player from my draft. I'm going to build 2 drafts from scratch and you are going to decide which one is better. As you can see, I'm starting with a blank draft. First of all, I'm going to build my favorite 3-4-3 formation. I'm going to pick now some players that are going to be placeholders, such as the reserve goalkeeper or a 4.0 defender, and I'm going to put in my nailed players that are going to be in my draft no matter what. After that, we're going to see the fixture ticker. It's the thing that I'm basing my building of the drafts, and I'm going to pick players based on that. And after that, we're going to build a second draft that is going to contain other formation. Is going to be 4-4-2/3-5-2, easily rotatable, and players are going to be included. It will be a different draft, and at the end of the video, put down in the comment section which draft you prefer more. Now let's put in the placeholder players, such as Randolph in goal. I don't care who my goalkeeper is 4.0 because he's just not playing. It's Bell for 4.0, so he is returning into the draft. And I believe that he's going to be a good player, missing game week 2, but I'm not going to use him for game week 2. Next up, the 4.5 midfielder that I'm going to use is going to be Nakamba. He's also from Wootton. I'm picking him because he is just a playing player, 2 points each game week apart from game week 2. I may change Bell to someone from Sheffield, maybe Badwalk, because he's going to be playing in game week 2 when Burnley and Wootton are not having a fixture. But let's focus on the more important players, and we are going to discuss the 4.0 player if we have to return. Then I'm returning back Haaland because he's going to be my captain for basically the first several game weeks. And the other player that I'm returning 100% no matter the fixtures, it's Salah. I like to have 2 premiums. Kane is not sure to be staying in Spurs, so if he is transferred before the end of the summer deadline, I'm going to be required to use a transfer, so using that prize money in midfield for Salah for now is good enough for me. So yeah, Salah and Haaland in my draft. Haaland captain for game week 1, Salah maybe for game week 2, and the 3 bench players, Nakamba, Bell and Randolph, are just to see how much money are left and if I have the money to continue building the draft. Looking at the fixture ticker, I sorted it by overall attacking and defense both, and I set it for 8 game weeks because I'm going to use my wildcard around game week 8, so setting the team for the first game weeks without planning a transfer ahead from the start is good enough because you never know what you missed in preseason, so booking a transfer, it's never a good idea. I sorted by difficulty, so Chelsea, Everton, Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester United, Brentford and Spurs seem to have the upper hand in those fixtures. I'm seeing that Brighton are having 3 good fixtures from the start, but then the fixtures turn for worse. Liverpool are after that. At the bottom is Burnley and Nottingham, so I will be staying away from both of those teams. Wootton with the blank game week, even though they have a pretty okay fixture run. Yeah, they are now down here, but yeah, right now let's focus on the defense. I will remain that team in mind, but let's see sorted by defense difficulty. Chelsea, Everton, Arsenal, City. Okay, that seems good enough. 4 teams, 4 pretty solid teams. I want to have 3 starting defenders and 1 goalkeeper. So starting defenders maybe from Chelsea, Reece James or Ben Chilwell. Arsenal, maybe Gabriel, Saliba, Ramsdale is an option. And Manchester City, I consider Stones here to be the best option. But we have to find a team to pick a goalkeeper. So it's either for Brentford to go for Fleck and slash Raya. Crystal Palace is a good option as well. Johnson as a solid goalkeeper. Brighton is above Liverpool and Manchester United. I'm a little bit surprised. But yeah, I was considering Onana, but seeing that he is so down below, so maybe a keeper from Brighton or from Arsenal. But going without a United defender may seem like a risky move. We have to see. I'm not considering Everton as a starting point because I don't see going for such a... Maybe Patterson is a good option, so something like Patterson Chilwell, Ramsdale, Stones. But let's check the other teams. I like Onana, I like him a lot. And fixtures against Wolves, maybe a clean sheet. Spurs, not a clean sheet for sure, but save points. Then another home fixture. Is it home? Yes, so for United, sorted by home, it's Wolves, Nottingham, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Brentford. So several good fixtures going into United. And then away it's, where did they went? Tottenham, Arsenal, and Burnley. So 2 very difficult, but 3 out of 8 only, which is a good number. So yeah, Manchester United, I consider them a lot because Onana, brand new goalkeeper, pretty solid goalkeeper. Luke Shaw is too expensive for me. But yeah, let's go and see into the team what can we build. I'm going to buy someone from Manchester United, maybe Onana. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester City are going to be my focus. Everton I'm going to stay away from now because I want to see if I'm going to afford all the forwards that I like to have. And after that, I'm going to see who is going to be my fourth defender because it's going to be a filling option. So now let's fill the team. So Onana takes the goalkeeper spot. Then it's Chilwell. I like John Stones being back at the team. He was in my last draft. And here I'm picking Saliba because I like Saliba more than Gabriel. I believe he is more of a, how to say it, a solid pick. Better passes, not so risky and not such a big threat, but those passes are going to rack up a lot of bonus points for him. And the obvious submission here is Estupinian. I have to see if going without Estupinian is going to be a very good choice. But they have pretty okay 3 first fixtures, then it's several bad ones, and I don't believe their defense is going to keep a lot of clean sheets because they're changing their center back and their midfielders basically, and having such major changes, and the goalkeeper is being changed, maybe not Steel anymore, and we have to see, maybe a risky because Estupinian is, let's see how much owned. He is 51% owned, which is a pretty bad and big number if I miss the prices and I don't go for him, but I believe that he is not a necessity because I don't want to change my defense at all, and having a strong defense from the start and just relying on it is good. Here I'm opting for 2 center backs, which is not ideal. I like fullbacks, but with those center backs I'm looking for clean sheets and I want to have a pretty solid defense. Maybe I will consider going for some attacking fullbacks that are going to rack up points regardless of the clean sheets. We have to see, but for now the plan is to stay for a pretty solid defenders that I believe are going to bring up bonus points and clean sheets and maybe an attacking return here and there. And on my wild card I'm going to set with the best defense possible, but for now I want to rely on last season's number and the fixtures because that's the only thing that we can rely on this far and this early in the season. Now going to build the attacking and midfielders lineup. I want to see the first 2 fixtures for most of the teams how they're looking because I want to invest in teams that are having first 2 okayish fixtures and then want to expand the area that I'm looking at data, but for now I'm looking at the top 3 teams for the first 2 game weeks, and I believe that this is not the appropriate weight. I believe Arsenal is at the top, so maybe 2 Arsenal forwards slash strikers for the start of the season is good enough. Manchester City are Burnley, Newcastle, so Newcastle may be a difficult team to penetrate this season. And the other things that I'm looking at are Brentford and Brighton. I believe both of them are going to have a pretty solid start to the season. Wootton Wolves for Brighton, so I like a midfielder there, and Brentford 2 okayish fixtures. Spurs are not considered to be keeping a lot of clean sheets, so I have to consider going for a attacker there. And Fulham, they lost Paulinho. They may lose and most probably will lose Mitrovic. They're having a little bit of problems here and there. So Brentford, Brighton and Arsenal for the start are going to be a great options. Now expanding it to 4 game weeks. Here Everton appears, so Everton is a good option. Chelsea is a good option, that's interesting. And Manchester City are here already. So going for a player from Arsenal in the first 2 game weeks, maybe keeping it for game week 3 as well, and then going for someone else. We have to see how it's going to expand. But Brighton are considerably losing a lot of good fixtures here, and Manchester United are just down here. Yeah, they have home fixtures against Wolves and Nottingham, which may score a lot of points, so I have to consider them as well. Liverpool are down here, so Salah maybe not a good option, especially for the 4-4-2 draft. I may consider selling him there, but for now he's staying in the team. So I have to focus on Brentford, Everton, but Everton maybe their new signings. We have to see if Calvert-Lewin is back into the team. Chelsea for sure. West Ham, Luton and Nottingham after Liverpool fixture. Arsenal, especially when they are 3 and 4. Brentford though, Brentford are a team to invest in for sure. Then expanding it to 6 game weeks. Manchester City back at the top, so maybe change after Newcastle to a third City forward. Spurs are reappearing and they have Bournemouth, Burnley and Sheffield, so starting with a City midfielder maybe a good option, but we can't have them all. But starting with 2, so the home fixtures, Arsenal, where Nottingham and then Fulham, and it's Crystal Palace away. Crystal Palace are a solid team at home at the London Derby, so maybe investing in City is not going to be an option. We have to see. But yeah, and then expanding it to 8 game weeks, Chelsea, Everton, Manchester United are appearing here, and Arsenal are losing more and more appeal. So maybe going for a United player from game week 4 onwards is going to be a good option. Maybe 5, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Brentford, good fixtures to attack. So I may consider selling some of my other players. Maybe Salah will go. Liverpool, here is a difficult fixture run, but I don't want to start without him. We have to see how it's going to go, but yeah, Brentford, by the way, lost a lot of appeal here. Newcastle, but they have Everton and Nottingham Forest, so 5 out of 8 fixtures are okay. We have to see, but now let's focus on Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Brentford, and Brighton for the first 3 fixtures, and then we'll see what's the budget that's going to be left, and just to find to play a little bit with the draft and see what are we going to do with it. It's pretty important to see who the forward from Manchester United and the striker is going to be, because if he is a gem and a cheap option, he can go in my forward line for sure, because I have several not so short things in there. But let's discuss the short things. First of all is Saka. So Saka 8.5 straight back into the team. He was antis in my every draft, and spending 8.5 on him seems pretty reasonable for me. I believe their fixtures are pretty good, as we saw, and going for Saka is going to be a great option. Then I want to invest in Mitoma for sure for the first 2 game weeks. I believe that owning a Brighton midfielder will be key, at least for the first 2 fixtures. After that, you can sell him because the fixtures are not getting better and better, but they can just surprise everyone, and booking a transfer is going to be risky. But yeah, Mitoma and Saka, very good options. For me, pretty solid. Then for me, it's Nkunku up front. He's the Chelsea guy that I like to own because he's new, he's exciting, and the only new guy other than him is Onana, who may not even start my team if I want to save some money and go for a 4.5 goalkeeper, sorry. So yeah, Nkunku will be the new spark in my team, and I want to consider Wissa, because Wissa is now scoring goals and he's a poacher, he's a typical striker, and I want to see how much and how well I can fit him into my side. And the last guy here that I'm going to see are 2 midfielders. So midfielder and a defender, sorry, and I have 11.5 in my bank, which is not going to be enough, so I have to find someone for 7.5 to fit in my midfield, who is going to be from United. or Arsenal or City and then play with a 4.0 defender, or sell Onana or Stones and go for a 5.0 attacking fullback, but it's going to be risky. Maybe for a 4.5 if I can find a defender, or sell maybe Saliba for a Stupinian. But yeah, this way I'm just making my old draft once again. But if I go for a Stupinian and Ramsdale, but no, I have to sell Stones or Chilwell. So maybe going for Colwill from Chelsea to see. But no, for now I want Chilwell because he's attacking well. Stones is attacking well. And Saliba is Saliba. He was the best defender last season for Arsenal. And when he's playing, he's getting those bonus points. Onana is a guy that I can sacrifice for sure. But I want to see if I can filter maximum price of 8 million, say, and go for midfielders. Sorry, I know you're not seeing a lot of things, but believe me. So sorting it for 8.0. So it's Martinelli, Gross, Eze is an option, Almiron, Trossard, not very solid, March, Gibbs White, Bowen. Bowen is not a bad option. They had a pretty solid run there. But Foden is a guy that catches my eye because he's a good Manchester City midfielder. If I have to find maybe sacrificing Kunku for Jackson or Wissa, but no, those are too many sacrifices. The only other way is to drop Salah and go for Rashford, and then I will have enough money to go to whoever I want, but I will have a lot of money in the bank. But if I go for Salah, Mitoma can go as well, because I'm going to pick, but no, I want Mitoma. So here is a pretty tough choice to be made if I want to sacrifice Stones for Ake, most probably, and be, or Stones for Estupinian even, and go for Martinelli. But Martinelli is going to be substituted pretty early on, I believe that. And I won't have the money for Bruno, I won't have the money for Rashford, maybe selling Kunana and getting Flecken or Steel for a Brighton defender for the first several game weeks, but then it gets hard for them. I'll have to consider, but for now, let's go for Foden because he seems to be nailed. He can go to Maddison, Kulusevski if their fixtures improve, and I can invest some money elsewhere. And I will need a 4.0 defender that is going to play. So that's going to be Baldock for me. So yeah, this is the draft right now. It's Onana in goal, Saliba, Chilwell, and Stones in defense. Saka, Mitoma, Foden, Salah, and up front Nkunku, Wissa, Haaland. Here I have 1, 2, 3 penalty takers, some attacking fullback, solid defenders that I can drop, by the way, to go from Stones to Estupinian. So not be nailed, but then it gets harder and harder. And I'm going to go, I will have to see and I have to check, but I will be waiting for the latest preseason games for sure. But for now, Nkunku, Wissa, Haaland, Foden, Salah, Mitoma, Saka, Saliba, Chilwell, and Stones with Onana in goal. And Baldock will be my first bench option. I have a weak bench, but in first game weeks, there is no use to keep a lot of players on the bench because you're not getting their points. And the only issue is that I have 0.0 in the bank, but I have to see what sacrifice if I'm going to make any. Is it worth to drop down to someone 4.5? We have to see. But for now, that's draft 1, sorry. And now let's go to draft 2 and try to do a 3-5-2 slash 4-4-2 formation. Going for draft 2, I removed all of the other players. I left only the 3 players that are going to be nailed to say. So 4.0 placeholder, a 4.0 placeholder for goalkeeper and defender, and Haaland that's going to be nailed. So I'm here opting for a 4-4-2/3-5-2. So I'm going to have 4 solid defenders and 5 solid midfielders. So that means that I'm going to put a 4.5 striker, which is going to be, let's say Surridge, who is a pretty solid option at 4.5. I don't care who is going to be my 15th option. So I now have to spend 73.5 million. I'm not using Salah in this draft because I believe it's going to be way more flexible. I have several things that are important here. For me, it's Chilwell, who is going to be nailed for sure. Saka is here, and Mitoma. So yeah, those four players, Chilwell, Mitoma, Saka, and maybe Nkunku, are staying in the team. So yeah, opting for that way of the draft. Then up front, I want to have Mbumo. Sorry. Yes, I want to have Mbuemo because he's a pretty solid player. So I'm left now with 39 million. That's a pretty okay-ish price. Here I want to have a Stupinian because he's going to attack the fixtures for a 4-4-2-3-5-2. He can stay on the bench whenever the fixtures are difficult. I want to have John Stones back. I'm just going to return him to the side. A Manchester United defender / Arsenal, so Gabriel. Yeah, not Gabriel, Saliba is coming back into the side. And Onana is returning into the side. So the defense is pretty much set right now with that budget. It's Saliba, Chilwell, Stones, Stupinian, so pretty solid 4 defenders. And whenever someone is having a difficult fixture, so in game week 1, Chilwell is staying on the bench. Maybe when some of the strikers are staying, it will be good enough. And then I have 18.5 million, so Rashford for sure is coming with those good fixtures. And 9.5 is going to be wasted, by the way, because I cannot think of a player that's so expensive, but I will be going for Martinelli. That's 1.5 million in the bank, which is pretty much. And I want to improve someone, maybe Mbuemo or Mitoma. I can save that money in the bank, it's a lot, I know, but I don't think I need to improve anyone. Stones, Saliba, Chilwell, Stupinian, I'm content with the defense. Up front, maybe improve, but I don't need. If Mitoma and Mbuemo go for a pretty worse fixtures, let's say, it's going to be solid, and then I can swap him from Foden. So not going for Salah lets me have Rashford and Martinelli. I'm losing Wissa, but I can get Wissa and get 2 more million in the bank. So yeah, dropping Salah doesn't seem as bad right now. I was pretty convinced that I was going to start with him because getting him after that is going to be a pain in the ass. But having 1.5 million in the bank is going to be a pretty interesting start of the season for sure. If you think I can improve somehow draft number 2, please write it down. I'm going to save the team, and in a minute I'm going to show how they are going to line up for game week 1 for sure. Stay with me, and then I will say what the challenge is and how you can vote for the best team from both of those. If you enjoyed both of those drafts, please subscribe to my channel. And now you can see that for game week 1, with that draft I will have Onana against Wolves, Estupinian against Wootton, Burnley, Nottingham, Wolves, Nottingham, Luton, Nottingham, Spurs, Liverpool, and Burnley. A pretty solid draft. In game week 2, I'm going to have to need another goalkeeper. But in game week 2, let's see, not keeper, a captain. But I can safely bet that Haaland will score. So going without Salah seems like a reasonable. But he's scoring so much. I will be deliberating if I will start with money in the bank, Rashford, and Martinelli or Salah with Wissa. We have to see. We have to wait and see. Because if I want to get right now, this is 9 million, I need 3.5. So I will drop Martinelli for a pretty cheap midfielder. So it's 4.5 again. But I will be playing 4-4-2 for sure. It's an option. It's not a bad option for sure. But yeah, on my bench, Chilwell, Bale, and Surridge, this forward doesn't matter. This draft is looking way more beautiful to say. I can opt for 3-4-3 for sure, dropping Mbumo to Wissa and be easier to go for someone. Then I can sack off Mitoma to go for Poland, but then sack off Martinelli. This way I have a lot of money to attack the fixtures. Without Salah, one premium is good, looking good, but if Salah starts scoring, I will be in a lot of problems. I will have to tinker up the draft. Let's leave it at that. If you enjoyed draft number 1, put 1 in the comment section. If you enjoyed draft number 2, put 2 in the comment section. As obvious as it is. Write down your reasoning why you think the one draft is better than the other. I believe that both of those drafts are good enough, but I pretty much enjoy that draft even more right now because I see that I can attack the fixtures easier and just swap in some players. I can even get to a Liverpool striker quick enough. I can get to his just, but it's not going to be Salah. I can get easier to Trent right now with 1.5 million in the bank. But yeah, for now, I will be staying with draft number 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. I give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye!